What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to Hollywood Studios. Today is the official release of Disney Genie Plus, Disney Genie, whatever they're calling it, the very first opening day. But we decided this morning that we were going to go ahead and participate and check it out, test it out, and see how it works for all of you out there, while maybe to help you better plan your next vacation. It's super early in the morning. I just had a monster, I skipped my coffee, so my words are gonna be jumbled. But this is the crowd behind us. It's waiting to get in that are non-park or non-resort guests. They're allowing resort guests on the right or the left-hand side over here. So we gotta wait here for a few minutes. We're gonna head on inside and see what Disney Genie is all about. So if you're wondering why resort guests are on one side and non-resort guests are on the other side. So resort guests right now are able to get into the park 30 minutes early, starting at 8:30. Which Hollywood Studios today opens up at 9 o'clock, so they can get in at 8:30, enjoy some of the attractions before the regular guests get in, whether those are single-day ticket holders or annual pass holders that are not staying on property, which is a great benefit for resort guests, and we just have to kind of hang out and wait. The second benefit, let's talk a little bit about Disney Genie Plus, is that you get an early access to Disney Genie for purchasing those one-time use Lightning Lane attractions. This would be Rise of the Resistance, Space Mountain, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. I didn't see what was at Epcot, but I'm guessing it's probably Frozen. Animal Kingdom is probably Flight of Passage. So another benefit. Now, what we did see this morning, we have not been able to book Rise of the Resistance yet, but for today, it looks like for a single-use entrance, whatever we're going to call it here, Lightning Lane Plus, single-use entrance for Rise of the Resistance, it is only $15 per person to ride it. So not a bad price, but that could change as the holidays and weekends and things like that go on. So today is a Tuesday, it's a weekday, probably going to be cheaper than it's going to be on the weekend. So let's head on in. So we've got a few minutes here. Let's talk a little bit about what Disney Genie actually is. It's a brand new system that is all about helping you, the guest, have a much better experience when you're here at a Disney park. It's supposed to help you plan all kinds of things, from your dining reservations to your interest in park attractions, and work together to make sure that you're waiting in line the least amount of time and having the most amount of fun. And the best part about this is that you can actually find it right in the My Disney Experience app. So you don't have to download anything extra or go anywhere else. It's all built right in there for you. A whole new way to make the most of your day. Disney Genie service will transform your top interests into a fun, flexible visit in 3 easy steps. Share which attractions, entertainment, and dining experiences are most important to you with Disney Genie. Sit back as Disney Genie considers every possibility and conjures up the ultimate itinerary to save you time. And if you need to adjust your plans, it's no problem at all. You can swap out Disney Genie's recommendations on the fly. The biggest part of Disney Genie is Lightning Lane. Save time in line with Lightning Lane options. You can choose from 2 ways to purchase and book arrival windows for our new Lightning Lane entrances. Each option offers a different set of experiences, and these options can also be combined. So that answers the question that Taylor and I had earlier, which was, can we have a single-use entrance? This would be Rise of Resistance with a regular Lightning Lane attraction, and I believe that that is the case. So individual Lightning Lane attractions are going to be things like Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, Rise of Resistance here at Hollywood Studios. And basically, you don't have to purchase the Disney Genie service, which is like the Lightning Lane. You can actually just purchase these attractions individually, which I mentioned earlier. I think is about $15 for Rise of Resistance today per person. Could be different for other attractions, could be different on different days. So this is available to all guests for purchase without using the Disney Genie Plus service, which I just mentioned. Available for some of the most highly demanded attractions, not included with Disney Genie Plus, like I just mentioned before. And you can choose a time to arrive at up to two select attractions per day total, booked 1 at a time. Now here's a catch. This says choose a time to arrive. That is not the case. At least from our experience so far, you do not get to choose a window. You're going to be able to basically pick the soonest available time that is left. So right now, just looking at Rise of the Resistance, It is sitting right around about 6:30. It might even be later than that now.
And it's not even 9 o'clock yet.
So right now, Rise of the Resistance, the window starts at 6:50 p.m. And it's not even 9 o'clock yet. So that means that resort guests are getting the ability to pick all of those times up before us because we're not staying on property. So just to recap that real quick, choose a time to arrive at up to 2 select attractions per day, and you can only book these 2 attractions one at a time. So if Magic Kingdom is open late, we're assuming that if you can get Rise of Resistance at 6:50, you should be able to go over to Magic Kingdom and book 7 doors for something later like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, if it's available to you later in the day. But basically, once you kind of do this whole thing, you set up the My Disney Experience app. It's going to take you through the application to pick things that are of interest to you for your day. So you do need to have a Park Pass reservation already made for Disney Genie to really start customizing your experience for the day. So make sure that you have that done. And it's going to ask you, what type of entertainment are you looking for? What type of dining experiences are you looking for? What other interests, like attractions, are you interested in? And after all of that, oh, this is really starting to fill up in here. It is going to start to kind of calculate and create an itinerary for you to wait the least amount of time in line and have the best experience. So we're going to try that out and see how it goes. The park has just officially opened, and presumably everybody right now is making their way to Rise of the Resistance. They're making their way to Rise of the Resistance. Oh, I wanted you to show them. They're flying along on their scooters. You can't see them now.
We can see their flags.
But everybody's making their way to Rise of the Resistance, more than likely. And we're going to kind of start making our way around. Now, I did notice that once it officially opened up, we were actually able to select between 3 different hours for Rise of the Resistance, which was 6, 7, and 8 o'clock. I don't know yet if we're restricted to that because we're not resort guests or if it is just what's left for the day. So there was a slight glitch. It said it was available at 11:30, and I clicked on it, and then it bounced back to like 6 o'clock. So kind of something we're going to continue to explore for the rest of the day just to see. But we're going to start kind of walking around and just checking out the lightning lanes, see if they're being utilized a lot, and I don't know, just checking it out, getting a feel for it. So it looks like the majority of everybody, as you can see, is really heading into Rise of the Resistance because it is still open for standby. And while you can purchase Lightning Lane for what it appears to be about $15 per person today, my guess is that a lot of these people are just going to go wait in line. So I think we're coming up to like one of the things that I think is really, really unfortunate right now, and this could be based on a lot of different factors, okay? So take it for what it's worth. I don't like being negative Nancy, but this is an observation that definitely needs to be pointed out. This is currently the standby line for Rise of the Resistance. Before COVID and before everything else, we never ever saw queue lines be spread out outside of the physical attractions. It was very, very rare that it ever actually happened. And so right now, this is kind of ruining a lot of the magic, I think. To have these queue lines all spread out like this should not be happening.
It's going clear through the Muppets queue.
Yes, I mean, it's going backstage into the Muppets area, and you know, this should not be happening. But it is. Alas, what are you going to do? All right, so we finally found the end of the line for Rise of Resistance, which is right here. And it's saying that it's about 130 minutes, 120 minutes. So 2 hours is actually not that bad of a wait. To me, with all of the things that are going on with Rise of the Resistance right now, I feel like it's probably going to be a little bit of a longer wait. But again, I think it's really kind of disappointing that we've got all of these queue lines coming out of the actual attractions. They should not be doing that. If you guys haven't seen it yet, there's the Millennium Falcon hanging out. Little teeny tiny model of it.
So we do have a lightning lane that we're going to be using around 10:30. That's kind of why we're just walking around the park right now, just kind of looking at the other lightning lanes, seeing if people are actually using them, and like if it's, you know, if the lines are long and if the lightning lane lines are long or not. And what I've noticed so far is there have barely been any people going through the lines, through the lightning lane lines. The other like standby attraction lines have been long so far, and the Lightning Lane, I've barely been seeing used. So we're kind of wondering if they're being like super restricted to start, so that there literally is 0 wait if you go through the Lightning Lane. So it's literally like lightning. But another thing I noticed is that when people are going through the lanes, if they do not have a Magic Band on and they have it linked to their phone, they are having to scan their phone to go through, which is fine. I use my phone to get into the park. But if they have a family of 4 and nobody has a Magic Band on, one person has to scan 4 times to get everybody through. So if there was lines for Lightning Lane to get in, they would be waiting a good couple of minutes to get through to scan every person. So if you do have a smartphone or a smartwatch, like an Apple Watch, you can actually link your ticket right on there, and you can pretty much treat your watch like a Magic Band now. So makes it a little quicker to get through there. You want it to be like lightning, make it like lightning for yourself.
Something else that I wanted to check out was, can we purchase an individual Lightning Lane attraction outside of Hollywood Studios? Meaning, can we park hop and still utilize Disney Genie? Yes, you can, but this is the issue that I'm having, which you might not be able to see because of the reflection and everything else. I can get all the way to the part where I need to pay, but it will not load this page for me to pay. I've been doing this now for probably about 15 minutes. We were trying to book a reservation or an individual Lightning Lane attraction for Space Mountain or Seven Dwarfs, doesn't matter. I've been trying to bounce between the two of them. It will not load. So if you get to this screen and it just continues to spin and spin and spin, what you can do is go to Guest Experience. Those are everybody in the blue shirts. You're usually underneath the tent that says Guest Experience. They should be able to solve that issue for you. They should be able to set it all up and you can pay right there. But pretty, you know, it is the first day. So there's going to be issues. There's going to be issues probably for a couple of months before they actually fix everything. But just keep that in mind. Screenshot everything that you book. If you book something, screenshot it so you have it. We're going to get on Rock and Roller Coaster with our Lightning Lane.
These little planning tools.
Pretty easy?
Yeah. Well, because my pass is linked to my phone, like in my wallet, so I have it on my phone and my watch, so I just treat my phone now like a Magic Band. And I just tapped it, and then we walk through.
I think it's really important to note that nothing has really changed as far as Lightning Lane goes in the process. It's exactly the same, just like Fast Pass was before. It's a separate line. You skip the standby line, which for Rock and Roller Coaster is right here. And we're going to go up in, make sure that when you go inside, you still wear your mask. I got to put my mask on. And we'll see if there's like a wait really for Lightning Lane. Now we are currently waiting just because I think they've already filled the show space. So once that show space goes through, they should let us go through.
But there was 0 line for Lightning Lane. There's literally 5 people in front of us, so 0 line. Lightning.
So we just got to experience Rock and Roller Coaster utilizing the Lightning Lane, and it was really nice. It was just like an old Fast Pass, if you will, back in the day. Well, both paper and Fast Pass Plus or whatever. But something that's, I think, really, really important for you guys to know is that as soon as you tap against that first tapper for your Lightning Lane experience, you can immediately begin booking a second or your next Lightning experience, your additional next one. So something to keep in mind. Now that we've used Rock and Roller Coaster, we cannot use Lightning Lane again, I believe, for Rock and Roller Coaster. We can only use it just that one time. But what I was able to do was book another experience for Tower of Terror. It's not till 12:30. We're probably not going to stay and utilize it, but just something to think about. As soon as you tap, regardless of what your window time is, you can begin booking your second experience. So Rock and Roller Coaster for us started at 10:30, ended at 11:30. As soon as we touched it, we were able to start booking another one. And if we could find one that was sooner, like 11 o'clock, we could have booked it, but I couldn't really find anything. The first, I think, available one was like 12:30. So, but keep that in mind. Using Disney Genie and the Lightning Lane, you need to really be utilizing it to the best of its ability. So get the most out of it. As soon as you tap, get ready to start booking something else so that you can experience something else without having to wait in line. So today we have officially tried the Lightning Lane experience here at Hollywood Studios.
And we have used Disney Genie. Now, one other thing, make sure you know that just Disney Genie is actually available to everybody to use to try and help plan your day. Now, if you do want to use Lightning Lane and skip the lines, you have to pay that extra $15. And then, if you want individual attractions, Josh already said this, but you do not have to purchase Disney Genie Plus to do individual attractions. You can purchase those separately. So I think that's one of the biggest questions that has come up
It's
today.
still very confusing because the only individual attractions that you can purchase for
Right.
are the ones that are not included with Disney Genie Plus.
Right.
Rise of Resistance, Slinky Dog, Frozen, Ratatouille.
There's two at each park.
Yes. So keep that in mind. I mean, with that being said, there's a lot of kinks in today. Today's the very opening day
Yeah.
release of Disney Genie, so they're having a lot of issues.
I
Those should be
think-
resolved, though, over time.
Yes, but I do think that since the app actually never really crashed, except for very first thing this morning whenever you purchased it, I think that it worked pretty well.
Yeah,
for the first
the
day.
entire app itself did not crash, but individual pages, when you're trying to do a certain process, did crash. They would not load.
Yeah.
They'd say there's an issue. And we still didn't really get to resolve the issue of trying to book a individual attraction at another park. Like I
Yeah.
said, you have to go to Guest Experience and have them
Yeah, see if
take
they
care
can
of that
help
for
you. But yeah, I definitely think if you are a resort guest
This is great.
and you can afford to pay for it, this
Yeah.
is a very great option for you to have.
Absolutely.
Especially for those top tier Lightning Lane attractions, because you can book those at 7 a.m. on your park day.
Yeah.
So the regular guests cannot book that until the park opens.
Exactly.
So keep that in mind if you're staying on property.
Yeah, so if you've got a ton of questions, which you probably do, we did not answer all of those questions in this video. We really just want
tried.
to test it out and
tried.
use it. Podcast is tomorrow.
Yes.
This video is going to get launched tonight, so podcast will be tomorrow sometime in the morning. Make sure you check that out.
Yes, and I posted on our Instagram story to ask us any questions. So we're going to address all of the questions that you have from
Yeah.
Disney Genie.
And if you don't already, make sure that you hit the notification bell, because I've
Yeah.
been seeing that not many people have it notified, and then we get messages about like we didn't see something get released. So make sure that you have the bell rang so that you get the notifications when we post something. And yeah, so
We'll see y'all in the next one.